Good afternoon or evening, everybody. My name is Jim. This is More Sunshine, Please, my Tuesday night live stream. Welcome in. I'm very, very tired. I'm not going to let that stand in my way, though. I am back to work. For those that know, I am a teacher, and our first week back, students' first week back to school is actually at home here in Hillsborough County. And so I have been working from home. Yesterday was the first day with students. And it's been very difficult in one regard and not so bad in another. But I can get to that in a little bit. Oh, let me, I'm not even ready. Let's check the chat. Wrong mouse. Here we go. Starting from the top. I feel I need the Olympiad music here, if I can get away with playing that. Noah, you are first in the chat, today's gold medal winner. Make It Blue, a Disney adventure, is second. Caitlin wins today's silver. Caitlin, a few weeks ago, I think we discussed in the chat having your own sound. And I've come up with one for you. And I think it's one I played last week or a couple weeks ago. But I wanted it to be your sound. I hope it meets with your approval. It does not. If it doesn't, we can change it. But I wanted you to have the sound that you hear when you enter one of the parks. So this is the sound you'll hear when I acknowledge Caitlin in the chat. I hope you like that. I do. When I hear that, it makes me happy because I'm going into one of the parks. And when I see Caitlin, I think when we all see Caitlin in the chats, we're a little bit happier. So that's that. Youper Wisdom Videos, Jason, Bridget, today's bronze medalists. Thank you for being here first. Eric Newman, hello, welcome to you. D&G Explorers. Thank you so much for being here. Chad Cruisers, welcome. Friends of D&G Explorers, thank you for being here. Dances with Goofy Adventures. Rhonda, good to see you. We have Super Fluffy Yeti, one of the greatest names in all of YouTubedom. Thank you for being here. And Richard, the Orlando guy, is here. Welcome to you. We've got Magic of the Mouse TV. Welcome. Thank you so much for being here. Carlos, the Disney World freak. Welcome. Thank you, everybody, for being here. And I know. I've got the Rona hair. I need a haircut is what's going on. But that hasn't happened yet. Yeah, it's a little longer than I'm used to. My normal product isn't strong enough for this length. So I'm still dealing. But again, I'm teaching from home this week. So it doesn't much matter. Even though we're doing Zoom meetings every class period, it's it's still, I'm this big on their computer screen. Bill Steffen, welcome from Kentucky. Thanks for being here. We'll catch more people coming into the chat in just a moment. I want to show you my, I guess I could, oh, excellent. Wonderful. One more time. So glad. Okay. Back when annual pass holders were getting a 30% discount, I can't even, which that ended August 11th or something like that. I went on to Shop Disney to see if there was something on there worth getting. And there was a couple of things, but one of them arrived today, and it happens to be the T-shirt I'm wearing. So let me pan down here. I really liked this Remy shirt. It says, anyone can cook. Oh, boy, I can't see it. But only the fearless can be great. Now, I was pretty happy with that find. Now, back when I was in my quest for watch hours, I did a cooking show. I did a live stream from my kitchen, and it was great fun. I'm not nearly as good as Donna Jaworski, but I had a lot of fun. And we made I made, with the help of my family, the Nutella fruit waffle sandwich that you can get at Sleepy Hollow Refreshments. The thing is, I was given a recipe, but I did not read the recipe beforehand. So as I was adding in ingredients, I didn't realize that all the dry ingredients should go first, and then any wet ingredients separately. It actually ended up turning out fine, but it was kind of comical to us at the time that I was screwing up the recipe because I had never read it. Mara and Memphis, welcome. And Bob and Ashley, thank you so much for being here. So we want to do more live streams from the kitchen. And the premise will be I'm given a recipe that I've never seen before or have never read, and I'll make it right on the spot. The first thing I read will be the first ingredient, something like that. So I wanted to get this shirt to wear while I do that. Now, when will we be doing that again? I don't know. I'm really busy with school right now. Cut me some slack. No. But I can't wait to do it again. And now I've got the outfit. I had a chef's hat. I don't know what they call those. Chef's hat. And so I wore that. So I kind of looked the part. And now I feel like this has completed the ensemble. I don't know if that's a phrase. Laura B., welcome to the show. Thanks for being here. Good to see you. Kay Atwood, thank you for being here. What else? I see Bob and Ashley are in the chat, and they are big popcorn bucket collectors. And I saw today that there is now a new Onward popcorn bucket available at Hollywood Studios. And of course, when I saw it, I thought of them first. So I'm going to try to show you a picture of it. So here we go. And there it is. Okay. I think that looks really cool. I don't know if the wheels turn. It looks like they might. And in the windshield, there is, I'll tell you, I enjoyed the movie, but I cannot remember the characters' names. What are you going to do? They've already got it. I should have known. I just heard about it today. But that leads me to another Hollywood Studios problem. What? Are you kidding? Oh, that might be the best popcorn bucket I've ever seen. If that lights up like that, that's very cool. Now, I once again have, or I still have my annual pass. And when I was looking for reservations, I made one for this Friday. This Friday, I'll be in Epcot. I have to work, but I'll be there in the afternoon. And I'm actually meeting James Ryan, who's there right now. He is in Walt Disney World. And I'm looking forward to meeting him. He is wonderful and in everybody's chats, moderating and helping out. And he is a great supporter of this community. And Ian and Barley, thank you, Kay. They're in the windshield. Do you see them? Very cool. Oh, Richard let his expire. Well, I almost did, but I did not. So anyway, so I got this Friday. And then I don't necessarily want to go to Epcot every time I go to Walt Disney World, yet that is the most available of the parks, because as an annual pass holder, I can only have 3 reservations at a time. You now need a reservation to go into a park. Annual pass holders can get no more than 3 at a time. So my very next one after this Friday will be mid-September. I think it's September 20th at the Magic Kingdom. I haven't been to the Magic Kingdom since, I don't know, January or February. So because I'm now working and because Walt Disney World are cutting their hours a bit, it's really hard to get there during the week before they close for me. So I've really got to stick to the weekends. Well, those are the first days to be snatched up by other annual pass holders. So September 20th is my next reservation. That's a month away. But I really want to go back to Hollywood Studios. And I just saw I'm pointing over here because I've got another monitor over here. It says Disney's Hollywood Studios reservations are fully booked for pass holders on weekends through November 7th. So, yeah, there's that. But back a week or so ago when I was looking for reservations, there was one for October 28th for Hollywood Studios. I think it's a Sunday. So it was the first available. So I got that one. That was my third one that I chose. So Friday, September 20th, and then October 28th. Let's see, what's this now? Just purchase a Florida resident ticket package, and then you can get in any parking. That's a very good point. Annual pass holders are limited to 3 at a time. But if you buy a ticket to the parks, you're not so limited. Also, if you are staying on property most every day, and every park is available to you as well. We even thought, well, what's the cheapest? If I really want to go to the parks, what's the cheapest room that I can get? And it's a campground. One, not a cabin at Fort Wilderness, but you could get a campground, and it's like $100 though. Can you believe it's $100 now for a slab of concrete? But that's what it is. And but then I thought, what, 100? What am I doing? What am I thinking of? So I'm hoping that Disney releases a little bit more to annual pass holders, and but that's what Richard said is not out of the realm of possibility. That's something that I could do. Russ Stapleton, what? You're moving down here in a few weeks? That's great. Good for you. I can't wait for that. And congratulations. And I hope it's a safe trip and that the parks stay open for you. We won't talk about that, but yeah, that's really cool news. Congratulations. Okay, what else? There was something else. I don't know if I can remember what else I want to talk about. Very tight. Okay, so let me just speak a bit about working. I am now back to work. I've had students for 2 days now. And we're doing Zoom meetings, and it's just for 1 week. It's just for 5 days. And frankly, I haven't been breaking my back to reinvent the wheel to teach these classes. The school district is calling it Smart Start Week. So, and they're requiring that we do at least 20 minutes of Zoom meetings per class period every day. So, and then next Monday, those students that wish to return to school will be doing so. They'll be going back into the building. So for us, it's about 60% of our student population. The other 40% has either elected to do e-learning, remain students at our school, and do e-learning where they will be taught, they will continue to do distance learning, or they withdrew from our school and they enrolled into Hillsborough County Virtual School. So they are no longer our students. They are now students in another school, and that school happens to be Hillsborough County Virtual School. So this will be very interesting. I myself will still be teaching 2 of my classes as e-learning classes. So throughout the day, right in the middle of my day, 2 of my classes will be e-learning classes. So I'll have students for the first 2 periods of the day, and then my classroom will be empty, but I'll still be teaching, and then lunch, and then another e-learning class where my class will be empty. It'll just be me. And then the last 2 periods of the day back to students, back to too many students in my classroom. So wish me luck. And I didn't really mention this to my students, but I think it's just a matter of weeks before we're all back home, because that's what happens when groups of people get together, and mask wearing isn't being done by everybody, and social distancing is near impossible. I just think, I think it's just a couple of weeks before we're all back home e-learning. So, but we'll see. Here's hoping for the best, though. I think many of the schools have made this harder than it needs to be. Well, it's, they've had all summer to come up with a great plan. The problem is they called it a choice. Parents could choose if they wanted to send their kids back to school or keep them at home. But teachers didn't get a choice, and teachers that have children with special needs or are caring for elderly parents or something like that, that's going to put so many people in danger. And but we are hoping for the best again. The only issue with that is for special education students, like school districts can't really accommodate IEPs right now. I agree. And I am glad that I'm not in public education anymore. That's true. IEP is an individual education plan, and students with special needs have them. It tells you what their accommodations are, or well, I'm telling you, D&G. For example, my daughter has an IEP, so any student with an IEP may get, for example, extra time to take a test or something like that. It could be, a number of things, but and that's the problem with distance learning. And this show, I won't go on forever. But it was unfortunately very difficult for IEPs to be all that's laid out in those to be met. Okay. But yeah, I'm sorry if I've been missing some of the chat. And I've been catching some great things in here. So I don't know if this is one of them, but actually that's not a bad idea. I will be, we do have to wear a mask in the school. Everybody does. And if students, for example, refuse to wear a mask, they will be escorted out of the classroom and then be given an e-learning. They will be sent home and have to become e-learners. So I'm glad that at least our administration is taking that seriously, and we'll see. Verbal testing instead of reading. Yes, exactly. Other IEP accommodations. What was that? Enough of my belly aching. I didn't want. I guess I'm just venting a little bit. But if we. Oh, never mind. I'm like, that's it. Let's get to my top 15 list, because that's fun, right? Now today's top 15 list is not Disney themed. Big Disney fan, welcome to the show. Good to see you. We were watching YouTube, as we all do, and one of the recommended videos that came up was about, it was a list of something called eggcorns. I'll just put up my top 15 list here so you can see the word. Eggcorn. I actually have the definition of an eggcorn. Here it is. Okay. An eggcorn is a word or phrase that results from a mishearing or misinterpretation of another word, an element of the original being substituted for one that sounds very similar or identical. So my list today are the top 15 eggcorns that I've come across. So let's get into the first one, and maybe that will give you a better understanding of what I'm talking about. So, and I've been guilty of a number of these. So it was fun to look up more of them and realize, oh yeah, I used to do that. I used to think it was that. So here it is. So the first one is very common. It's people that say all intensive purposes instead of saying all intents and purposes, which is the actual phrase. I'm going to try to zoom in so I fill my screen with more of the... Where's my... Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Darn it. Okay, here we go. I'm getting there. But so anyway, all intents and purposes is correct. But when people say it fast, it sounds like, well, you know, for all intents and purposes, it kind of, and I over enunciated that, it sounds like all intensive purposes. So if you want to say that phrase, then you're going to say what you think you heard. What's going on? Okay, here we go. Let me, just so you get a better look at what's on my screen, because some of these have smaller letters than others. And now my head is extremely large. That's all right. So I think once upon a time I used to say that. I'm opening up stuff in my computer that I don't need. I hope that doesn't bog anything down. So let me go back here. What's this now? I've been missing this. Well, with those purposes are that intense? Well, here's the thing, Russ, and I know you're being facetious, but a lot of these, if you think about it, kind of makes sense. So if and I'll have many more that kind of make sense if you think about it. Like this one, all intensive purposes. Well, the purposes are there, and if they're intensive, that means there's some sort of value to the purposes. Anyway, I'm trying to explain more than I should. Disney nerd herders, nerds! Welcome to the show. Let me move on. Number 14, the term, people say wheelbarrow instead of saying wheelbarrow. Now, barrow is not a common term. Barrel is. So when people say wheelbarrow, it's, and I just said wheelbarrow. When people say this quickly, it sounds like this. But if you think about this one, wheelbarrow doesn't make sense. But neither does wheelbarrow, because nobody knows what a barrow is. I actually had to look it up. I had to look up the definition of a barrow. And the first definition I found was, it says noun, a wheelbarrow. So, okay, first of all, I don't know, Oxford, why you're defining a word with the word. That doesn't work. But below that, it says a luggage trolley, a two-wheeled handcart used especially by street vendors. Okay, so a barrow is a cart, and a wheelbarrow is a cart with wheels. So that's where that term comes from. This is just what people say when they think they know what they're hearing. But, you know, as a kid, I think we all said this until we learned better. But what's Hitchhiking Bones, welcome to the show. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. And it's not wheelbarrow, it's wheelbarrow. What did I say? I don't think so. Oh, where am I? Okay, let's move on. Number 13. This one made me laugh. The feeble position. People saying feeble position instead of the fetal position. So this one, kind of makes sense. If somebody is scared enough to be in a fetal position, it might stand to reason they would be in a feeble position. You know what I mean? But that's not correct. So the fetal position, of course, is that of a baby in the womb, which one might take if they are, I don't know, super tired or scared, or I don't know. But yeah, let's move on. 12. This is for those from the north, those that do deal with the wind chill factor. And if you didn't know any better, you would think the weather person is saying windshield factor. And I think when they first started using this term on a regular basis, meteorologists and television weather personalities, when they first started saying this, it sounded like they were saying windshield factor. But the wind chill factor is how cold it seems outside. It might be 20 degrees outside with a wind chill factor of -2, something like that. That's the wind chill factor that they're talking about. But to the uninitiated, it sounds like they're saying windshield factor. And I remember that from being a kid. I remember I thought, well, windshield factor, because windshield is a term I've heard my whole life. You hear it every day. But wind chill at the time was new. Oh. What are you going to do? What is Caitlin saying? Acorns are a daily occurrence for me. My hearing plays tricks all the time. If I had it on for every time that happened, I would be living in Florida. Yes, wind chill. I didn't even think of those hard of hearing. That's interesting. That's something I hadn't even thought of. If you couldn't even hear the word well, as opposed to thinking you're hearing it well and just getting it wrong. By the way, the term egg corn is itself an egg corn for acorn. So apparently an egg corn for the word acorn is eggcorn. Anyway, so if you look up eggcorn, that's where you'll. Let's move on. Number 11. Those that say coleslaw instead of coleslaw. I think kids would say this because what is coal? And by the way, I don't even know if people say COAL or they say this, but cold slaw kind of makes sense. It's usually served cold, right? So I think this is a popular one as well because it makes sense. It just does. All right, I'm moving on. Somebody, is this Gregory? Gregory says coleslaw. And I'm only saying that, I'm only guessing it's Gregory because I believe Derek's still at work. Other than that, I mean, that's the only reason. Don't think too much about that. Let's move on. Number 10. Here's one I was unfamiliar with. And I say this, and frankly, I think I'll still say card shark instead of the term card sharp. I had no idea that the actual term was card sharp. And I would have to look it up. Weeks ago, I looked this up, and I don't remember the origination of the term card sharp, but apparently it has morphed into card shark, but that's not right. Now, where was I? Oh, okay. There was even a game show called Card Sharks. It wasn't called Card Sharps. I don't even know what that is. I still don't know. What's this? There's such a thing as a type of hearing dyslexia too. People who hear things wrong. Oh, it's called malapropism. I know malaprops. Yes. That's interesting. And I wonder if that plays into this or that's, I didn't know that. In poker, it's called card shark, says Charlie. But Charlie, Was it always Card Shark, or was it? I'm sorry, I'm bumping my table. Uh-oh. Earthquake. Or did it morph? Because some of these have become accepted alternatives to the original phrase. It's just interesting. Sherry from Awesome Sunsets Travel. Good to see you. All right. Let's move on. Next. Number 9. This one made me laugh. People that say lame man's terms instead of layman's terms. Now, a layman is an ordinary person. So if somebody asks you to describe something in layman's terms, that just means something that's easily understood. So I understand where lame man's terms comes from. That makes sense. This is one of those acorns that kind of makes sense. It's totally wrong, but I get why this came to be. Layman's terms. If you say it quickly and you don't know what a layman is, lame man is a pretty reasonable substitute or alternative to that. So I thought that was pretty good. That one made me giggle. Number 8 on my list, and these are in no particular order other than the ones I thought of and wrote down, and then I looked some up because I couldn't think of 15 on my own. Here's another one that I know I have said. Wanda, welcome. Good to see you. Using layman's terms every day. Hare's breath, instead of saying hare's breadth. A hare's breadth being its thickness, its width, I guess. Why wouldn't they say width? But hare's breadth, that's exactly what it sounds like. But if you think about it, it doesn't make sense. If Lightning McQueen lost his race by a hair's breadth, to say hair's breadth doesn't make sense, but that's what it sounds like. Walt, good to see you. Mouse Talk is in the house. So, but the actual term is hair's breadth, because if you think about it, a hair, the thickness of a hair couldn't be much thinner. So to lose a race by a hair's breadth, well, that of course that makes sense. But to lose it by a hair's breadth, but I guess as I say that now, what's in a breath? A hair's breadth is a rabbit's breath, says Big Disney Fan. Yes. So, all right. I guess I kind of get it. That's a photo finish for Lightning McKnight. Oh, and Noah saying hi. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong thing. This is a good point by Caitlin. Masks are making it so rough for people like me trying to find a nonprofit to donate accessible masks for our backroom staff. That's another thing I didn't even think about. People that read lips to help with communication, and masks are making that so much more difficult. I just wanted to play the sound again. Let's go to number 7 on the list of our top 15 acorns. People that's now, I don't know about this one. Oh, I know about it. I know this is sort of a I don't know if it's an acorn, but people that say must of instead of saying must have, and if it's a contraction, then you're writing it out MUST apostrophe VE, which you would say must have, which sounds like must have. So I get where this comes from. So if you just say this, it sounds correct. Well, it must have been love, but it's over now, whatever that song is. That's the first thing I thought of. Why is that the first thing I thought of? Don't judge me. Anyway, but I've seen people write this out though. So instead of saying it must have been love, they're writing out, it must have been love, which isn't grammatically correct. Now I'm an English teacher. Who do I think I am? Melissa, welcome to the show. Let's go on. Number 6. Again, I don't know if this is an eggcorn, but maybe it is. People that say could care less instead of saying couldn't care less. To break this down, if you were trying to convince somebody that you didn't care about something, you would say, I couldn't care less about that, implying that your caring is so rock bottom that there's nothing you could care less about. But for those that say, I could care less about that, they're telling you, there is some value to that for me, so I could care less about it if I didn't care the little bit I do about it. Am I making sense? Anyway, this is correct grammatically, but I hear this all the time. People that say, I could care less, which is wrong. It's actually, I couldn't care less. Because you could not care less about that thing. I feel like I'm sounding pompous right now. I'm going to move on. I didn't want to seem that way. Here's another funny one. This one's interesting because the term, people that say pass mustard instead of saying pass muster. Now, this is not to be confused with the term cut the mustard, which is correct in itself. But to pass muster gets its origins from the military. To pass inspection. To pass mustard doesn't make sense. I am a teacher. You're right, Melissa. Thank you for making me feel better. MGM Family Travel. Good to see you. Bill. So pass muster is correct. But this is not to be confused with cut the mustard, which I had to look it up, actually, because it confused me. So where is it? Okay, here's what it says from some college's website. I don't know. The non-standard form pass the muster may be influenced by the unrelated term cut the mustard, which has a similar meaning. Don't believe those who insist that the latter phrase is a mistake for cut the muster. And the expression is definitely not pass the mustard. Okay, I confused myself. I couldn't. D&G Explorers with the 1999 super chat. This is why we love you, Jim. You're so funny, and this is fun. Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying this. I feared that I was getting on my high horse and seemed a little bit stupid by doing this. But I found this very interesting, and I'm glad you do too. Thank you so much for the super chat. That was very kind of you. Let's see. Let's move on. All right, this one actually also made me laugh too. Those that say nipped it in the butt instead of saying nipped it in the bud. Now, the origin of nipped it in the bud is to, I had it worded correctly so I wouldn't get myself in trouble. But the expression alludes to the spring frost that kills flower buds. So to nip something in the bud is to tackle something before it becomes worse. For example, our car exhibited a minor leak of some sort, but we took it to the mechanic to nip that problem in the bud. To nip it in the butt is totally different. That's wrong. And you're talking about something else totally unrelated now. Tina, T. Marie Photography, welcome to the show. Thank you for being here. And Blaine's here. Good to see you, Blaine. So yeah, this one kind of made me laugh. And no doubt, I've said this, there are some acorns where I interchange them because I am not totally sure which is right and which is wrong. So I think I interchange them just to make sure I'm right at least half the time. Oh, I got the wrong mouse. No, I didn't. I had the right mouse. Sorry, I've got two computers here with two different mouses. What's this? Snipped it in the butt. We need to keep this. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Blaine. Let's see. If I've missed you in the chat, I do apologize. I'm busy flapping my gums here. I am very, very tired. That's true. I may be ending this stream early. That's true. Let's move on. But I'm doing all right. I've gone 41 minutes. That's pretty good. Number 3 on my list of acorns. People that say hunger pains instead of hunger pangs. That's me. I would say hunger pains because what's a pang? What in the world is that? Doesn't even make sense to me. So yeah, I may continue to say hunger pains because I'm that stubborn. But I know better now. Maybe I don't want to purposefully be ignorant. Stubborn, yes. Ignorant, no. But that's interesting. I know I'm not the only one to have confused this one. Mar says guilty of this in all caps, no less. But it makes sense. When you're hungry, it is a pain. So you can see why I assumed it was hunger pains instead of hunger pangs, which I still don't know what that means. I looked it up too. No, I didn't look that one up. Let's move on. Number 2 is next. Those that say a mute point instead of saying a moot point. Again, Jeff Geek, long time no see. Good to see you in the chat. And Lana Stone, good to see you as well. Thanks for being here. A moot point. I wanted to word this right. I'll just read you what dictionary.com has for this. A debatable question, an issue open to argument, is a moot point. No, a moot point. Something that's moot is irrelevant. So if you're in an argument, something that's moot is irrelevant to the argument. It doesn't make sense. A mute point would be one that you can't hear, I guess. The Dufili crew is here. Good to see you guys. Thanks for being here. So a moot point. This is one I knew. If I can redeem myself a little bit, I may say hunger pains, but I do say a moot point. I know that one. And I'll be honest, when I first heard the word moot, it was on a Saturday Night Live sketch from 1984. The Reverend Jesse Jackson was the host. And he was in a sketch where he was the host of a game show. And the game show was called The Question is Moot. So as the host of the show, he would ask a question, a trivia question. Somebody would ring in and answer it, and he would immediately give them a wrong answer buzzer and say, the question is moot, and then explain why the question is irrelevant. I remember it being pretty clever at the time, but I haven't seen it, I think, since 1984. I would love to see it again. I think if I go to Peacock, I could probably look it up. The NBC streaming service, but I don't have Peacock. Let's get to the first thing on my list. Number 1 on my top 15 acorns. And this one may be the most popular one. People that say a doggy dog world instead of saying a dog eat dog world. Now, people that talk about a dog eat dog world are talking about how cutthroat something is, or just how hard Scrabble their life is. So they would explain that they're, this is a dog eat dog world. A doggy dog world sounds adorable. That just sounds so charming. But again, if you say this quickly, a dog eat dog world, it sounds like I'm saying the thing up top, but that's totally wrong. But this one, I think, may be the most common of them. What is this? Hang on. I saw something that lets me play another sound. Caitlin says, sign up for the Peacock. It's free. Is it really free? With like a 7-day trial or something, I'm guessing. Okay. If I can find that sketch, I'll do it. Saturday Night Live used to have their own app, but then Peacock came out and NBC dissolved the Saturday Night Live app, which you could look up sketches from the 70s. It was pretty cool. And it's I hadn't heard this one. But I like it. I wish it were a Snoop Dogg world. I'm missing a lot of stuff here. Let me see. Daily Motion has the Jesse Jackson. Oh, do they? Okay. I'm there. Thank you, Richard. But that's where I learned the word moot. Anyway, but this is the most popular of the Eggcorns. Thank you so much for joining me on another lengthy top 15 list. Thank you for bearing with me and joining. Tina T. McNeil, DCS. Good to see you, and thank you so much for being here. What is this? Jim, you need to do a top 15 list of best song lyrics that sound like something else. That's what this reminds me of. That would be fantastic. Excuse me while I kiss this guy from Jimi Hendrix, right? Excuse me while I kiss the sky. That's what comes up immediately. All right, I'm going to save the rest. I'll save the rest for a top 15 list. I may have at least 115 of those on my own. Okay. I want to thank Dean from the Live Place. Oh, thank you very much, Caitlin. I hope you guys aren't sick of the sound. I am not. TheLivePlace.com is your TV guide for family-friendly live streams. I think he has over 100,000 live streams on his website now. So thank you, Dean, for hosting this one. And I understand it's 120. Okay, that's good. Focus. Coming up next is Mouse Talk. So at 8 o'clock, and by the way, I'm not going until 8 o'clock. I'm going to talk about these channels and then retire for the evening. That's what I'm going to do. Mouse Talk, I believe there's a celebration going on. So tune in to Mouse Talk at 8 o'clock. I will, as soon as I recline somewhere where I can kick my feet up, I will be joining Mouse Talk. Awesome. After that, 9 o'clock on Tuesdays is the Viapre Project. Their show is called Hangouts on Tuesday evenings, and they're great fun. You love Legos? So do they. The Disney Nerd Herders. Nerds! Wednesday night live stream. They are back from their Walt Disney World vacation, and no doubt they'll be talking more about that. They are awesome. D&G Explorers. Right after tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. I think it's a Disney show? I think so. Because Wanda was the guest last week, right? And that was a cruising show. So I think this week is a cruising show for them. Rob Fuzz Can I tell you something funny about that sound? Because we're teaching from home, and we're doing all periods of the day, and we're following the actual school bell schedule as closely as we can. When time comes for the period to start, I've been playing that sound as the bell, and it makes me smile. Rob Fuzz on Fridays at 4 p.m. Pub talk, what have you. He's the king of retro videos, and he is a great supporter of me and so many of us in this community. Please check him out if you haven't already. Bob and Ashley on Sundays at 7, or if they have a park reservation, whenever. But normally their time is 7 p.m. on Sundays, and they are fantastic. Pete McDivitt right after at 8 p.m. He's got like 3 or 4 shows during the week. One of them is on Sundays with his son Preston, and they're interviewing people. He has an NFL show on Thursdays, which I have been a part of before. And this past Sunday, he had 2 shows, for example. And then he might have one on Wednesdays too. He's all over the place. And I believe he just got monetized, and it only, and I'm not bitter, but it only took him 10 weeks. It took me 3 years. Okay. Pepper Tree Villa, Mondays at 10 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Pacific. Always a fun show. Enjoy being a part of that chat. And they're a bit later because they're on the West Coast. And they're wearing masks for the Rona and for wildfires. So I think they're wearing 2 masks now. So hopefully they're safe. Everybody in California, D&G and Matthew and Lauren and everybody in California. Juan Rodriguez, I hope everybody's staying safe, especially if you're North California. Bob and Ashley will be at Epcot this Sunday. I wonder if after I use my reservation this Friday, if I can get one for Sunday and meet you guys there and surprise you. Now it's not a surprise. I'll stop talking. Anyway, the 5 Foolish Mortals, that's me and Charlie from Disney Nerd Herders, yes! Ben from Pepper Tree Villa, Derek and Greg from D&G Experience. We are the 5 Foolish Mortals, and I believe we will be on the D&G's channel early September, I think. I don't know if we ever finalized that. Maybe they can let me know if that was stamped certified. I don't know. But it might be whatever that first Saturday in September is. The 5th, because that's Labor Day weekend. I don't know. I think September 5th. Okay. All right. I think that might be a 5 Foolish Mortals show. But I'll be back on before that. So, frankly, I wouldn't even know what we're doing. Oh, and absolutely, Caitlin, we will absolutely be doing a High School Musical collaboration. I will be having Caitlin on my show at some time in the near future to talk about High School Musical, because I have never seen it. And she has seen it every day of her life for the past 15 years. That's not true. But she's a fan, and I've never seen it. So I'm going to have her on my show at some point to talk about that. So I can't wait. I have to watch the movie first. So, Caitlin, I will be getting in contact with you so that we can, perhaps we can do it next Tuesday. What do you think? Next Tuesday? Danny, good to see you. I was just talking about school, Danny. It's here in Hillsborough County, we got 1 week of at-home learning. It started yesterday, and it's going okay, but it's a lot of work because we're also adopting a Canvas, a new learning platform. So all of us teachers have to learn Canvas and teach from home. So that's been a bit of that's been a bit much, but we're fine. And then Monday, I go back into the building to teach 4 of my 6 classes. So 4 of my classes will be in the school and 2 will be e-learners. So I'll be teaching them from my classroom, but they'll be home. So I need to take a webcam into my classroom because I don't have one there. TV production teacher doesn't have a camera. That doesn't make sense. All right. Well, thank you, Charlie. It was a pleasure to be here and to see all of you here with me. I will see you 23 hours and 55 minutes from now. I will be getting some rest. Thank you. What's Danny saying? Schoolology and teaching virtually also. For how long? Teachers are teaching from our class. So you're in the classroom, but you're teaching the kids who are home. About 40% of our students will be staying at home past this week. And I think that's district-wide, frankly. But yeah, it'll be interesting. Mr. Fulton Mraz, welcome to the show. You're just in time for me to say goodbye. I am going to get some rest here. Oh, until further notice. Wow, open-ended like that. Good luck, Danny. All right, gang. Head on over to Mouse Talk. They will be starting up at 8 p.m. Thank you so much. I will see you next week. Ending broadcast. Bye, everybody.